Welcome to CITAM ChurchOnline. My name is Karita Mbagara, and I am glad to meet with you through this digital platform as we discuss the meaning of Christmas. We are in that season when we celebrate Christmas. And I want to start by telling you a story that I read somewhere of this man who was traveling in Japan, and it was Christmas season, and he found a lady that was coming from shopping, and he just wondered whether she knew what was the meaning of Christmas. So he stopped her and asked her, what do you understand Christmas to be? And she said, does it mean the day that Jesus died? I'm not sure. And I want to say, for many people, Christmas means just buying and selling. It's a time for businessmen to make money. For others, it's a time of just buying new gifts or being with friends. But the true meaning of Christmas has been lost. I want us to consider the book of Matthew chapter 2. We'll read verse 1 through to 11 so that we can show the true meaning of Christmas. And this is what the scriptures say. This is the NIV version. It says, after Jesus was born in Bethlehem in Judea, during the time of the King Herod, Magi from the east came to Jerusalem and asked, where is the one who has been born King of the Jews? We saw his star when it rose and have come to worship him. When King Herod heard this, he was disturbed, and all Jerusalem with him. When he had called together all the people's chief priests and teachers of the law, he asked them where the Messiah was to be born. In Bethlehem in Judea, they replied, for this is what the prophet has written. But you, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, and by no means least among the rulers of Judah. For out of you will come a ruler, who will shepherd my people Israel. Then Herod called the Magi secretly and found out from them the exact time the star had appeared. He sent them to Bethlehem and said, go and search carefully for the child, and as soon as you find him, report to me so that I too may go and worship him. After they had heard the king, they went on their way, and the star they had seen when it rose went ahead of them until it stopped over a place where the child was. When they saw the star, they were overjoyed. On coming to the house, they saw the child with his mother Mary, and they bowed down and worshipped him. Then they opened their treasures and presented him with gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Now, when you consider this passage, you see, I want to draw three things. At the birth of Jesus, it was not big news. It was not something that was published in their newspaper at that particular time. But some people got to know, and there are three categories that I want to consider. First, there are the scribes, and I would say that they were apathetic. They were called in by the king, and they were asked, and they had the knowledge about where Jesus would be born, but they didn't bother to go. They just gave their information. They were not going to bow to anything. And there are people like that even in this Christmas. People that say, yes, we know, we have heard, we have the knowledge, we have been taught. Over the years, we have known about this Messiah that came and why he came. He's the Savior of the world. They may even have told others about it. But like these scribes, they do not bow to the Lord, and they will not bow to him. But secondly, there is a category that is in the same category you would place Herod, who had a sinister motive, and he's bowing to selfish desires, because he says, go and find out where the child is born. But his interest is not to go and worship the child. He even knows it's a Messiah. It's the God-ordained Savior of the world. But he has a sinister motive. He wants to actually kill the child. He wants to do harm to the child. And there are people who are like that. They are evil. And they plan evil. And they continue despite knowing that God intends good to be propagated by them and by those that he has sent. Theirs is that they will always think about themselves first and themselves as the only prime movers, not other people. I don't know whether you are in this category. But thank God, there are those like the Magi who will travel a long distance. We are told they must have come from the east, maybe somewhere like what we call Persia today, or Iran, or Iraq. They originated from that far and had walked thousands of miles and had come to worship and to give of their substance. They gave gold, they gave frankincense, and they gave myrrh. So they bow to God. And this is, commendable. And that's what Christmas should make us do. We should bow to the one who is the reason for the Christmas. There are also other people that were despised, like the shepherds. When they learned about it, they left their flock, perhaps left one person watching over the flock, and they traveled to Bethlehem, where people in Jerusalem, and by the way, it's only a distance of about 5 miles from Jerusalem to Bethlehem. The scribes, the religious folk, would not travel, but these shepherds will leave their property to go and worship. The true meaning of Christmas is that we worship God.